And hello, everyone.
Hello,
We are at episode 35 of Salty Tonight. I'm Adam, joined tonight by,
Terry.
and we're coming with you tonight as kind of a little bit of a sadder episode that we've done. It's going to be in remembrance of the icon, the legend, a national treasure, Dolly Parton.
She is. She changed the face of, well, country music, definitely. But I mean, everything that she was in. But I mean, think
Yeah.
about what country music was before her.
I mean, she was a pioneer, not only in just that, but like the things that she's overcome in her life. Um,
Yeah.
you know, and tell us a little bit about how you came to know about Dolly Parton.
Well, a lot of it had to do, I think, with where we're from. Both Adam and I are from the mountains of Virginia, the Appalachian. I think we
Appalachian.
had that discussion before on how to
We
say it, and it
did.
is Appalachia. Um, And so Dolly Parton was a big part of my childhood. I don't know about you, but,
Well,
we would go to Dollywood, and she is a saint. She's worshipped there.
it seemed to me on my end, it was like you said, it was always something in our childhood because the name Dollywood you associated with not only Dolly Parton, the musical, but we did as kids as a place to go where we had a lot of fun. We saw heard her music a lot there. A lot of
Yeah,
Dolly's story was told there, how she, came from nothing and she played banjo, when she was helping raise her younger sisters and family. She had what, 12 other brothers and sisters. Her dad was a sharecropper and didn't make a lot of money and had trouble reading, and that's why she started up her reading foundation. So all these things you kind of learned about, or I did growing up with Dolly, because Dollywood was always in the background. It was
yeah,
always some place that you would pretty much at least once or twice a year, it seemed, would go down there, and it was always special. And then, as I grew up, I probably learned about Dollywood before I actually knew Dolly was a country singer, because
really?
I'd went to Dollywood at probably 4 or 5 years old, and then I'd probably heard of Dolly, but I didn't know it was Dolly as Dolly until probably what 7, 8 years old, something like that.
Yeah, probably. I guess, I don't know. I knew pretty early because my aunt loved her,
Right.
and she actually listens to the show sometimes. So, hi,
Okay.
Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
Um, and so Kathy really got me into her. We would drive around and listen to her, as well as my grandfather. Um, and 9 to 5 is still, I can't watch that movie without thinking about my aunt, because we would watch it, she would babysit me or whatever so my parents could go out and have a date night, and I would stay at
Yeah.
Kathy's, and we would make popcorn and watch 9 to 5 and Misery. And now as an adult, I look back and I'm like, well, my friend watched the movie, watched 9 to 5 with me last night. And I was like, it's so funny because she tried to protect me a little bit. And so there's a scene where they're smoking weed, like, and getting really stoned, right?
Hmm.
And that's when they have the talk about, what they're going to do to their boss. And I never watched that scene. I didn't even know that existed because Kathy would, like, fast
Hi,
forward
that's
through it.
really
But not the scene where they poison the boss or they'd strap him up in, like, that didn't get censored because that was fine for a 5-year-old, just not the weed smoking.
right,
And
right.
so that was really sweet that she was trying to protect me from that, but not from kidnapping,
Right.
essentially.
So that's one of your
So
earliest
thank you, Kathy.
memories. That's one of your earliest memories of being introduced to Dolly.
The dollar.
That's
And I wanted to be
hilarious.
her. I begged, and you can, my dad's probably told you about this, begged my parents to change my name to Dolly when I was a little kid.
I remember
Begged
you
them.
telling me this.
And then they didn't, obviously, because they're, well, I thought, at the time there was years that went through, and I was like, thank God they didn't do that. And now I'm kind of like, man, I wish they had have. That would have been
Yeah.
cool. That would have been cool.
Yeah, that I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
I do remember you telling me that. And Dollywood was always a place, that I would go and um there were always good memories there. Like, I don't remember having a bad memory going there.
You and I went, and we would go to Gatlinburg, and yeah,
I mean, it was
it
it
was
was always
fun. I
it was
mean,
always fun. And
and
then,
she has the best fudge. Anybody that ever goes to Dollywood, go to the fudge, like the homemade fudge factory. That
now when
sounds
was
way disgusting, but no, it's really good.
so when was the last time that you actually went down to Dollywood?
It's been at least 10 or 15 years,
You think it's been
at
that
least.
long?
It might have been the last time you and I went, which would have been
Like 2003.
2010s, maybe.
Well,
Alicia and I used to go. We would go and spend a couple nights down there and get a room and just drink, and that's in Gatlinburg, though.
right. Well, your camera's freezing up just a little, and while that's happening,
Okay.
I will say, we'll talk a little bit about Dolly growing up. She was born on January 19th, 1946, and she passed away at the age of 80, August 25th, 2026. Now, I don't know how many people know this. They might know her story, maybe they don't, but she was born in a one-room cabin in Locust Ridge near Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and the Appalachian foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. She was the fourth of 12 children, and the family was extremely poor. She says, quote, dirt poor, as she often described it, and music was a central part of their lives. She began performing and writing songs as a child and released her first album as a teenager. So she became, now I didn't know this, but I think the first time she was on the Grand Ole Opry, she was 13 years old.
Damn,
And
that's pretty good.
she is very good, and she rose to prominence in the late 60s as a regular on the Porter Wagner Show, and she had successful duets with Wagner before launching a major solo career. She's had many hits, including Jolene, I Will Always Love You, Coat of Many Colors, 9 to 5, the duet Island in the Stream with Kenny Rogers. She's had 25 number one singles on the Billboard Top 100 Singles Country Chart, and she's had more top 10 country albums than any other around, 49 albums.
Yeah.
So she released a rock album in 2023, which featured Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, Elton John, Lizzo, and others, and marked one of her strongest commercial showings of the modern era. She has sold more than 100 million albums, and she has been in movies that range from 9 to 5, Still Magnolias. She's had Golden Globe nominations. She has a theme park. She's had books, Broadway production companies. Her estimated net worth is around 500 to 650 million dollars. She's had around 10 or 11 Grammy Awards, plus a Lifetime Achievement Awards, plus many, many others. So these are just the career aspects of Dolly Parton's life. Now, do you
I
know
mean,
where
she's
she
a businesswoman at her. I mean, she's a philanthropist, obviously, but she's smart.
she's very smart.
I mean, she
Um,
saw a way to, I mean, not only help people, but to make a good business. Like
and not
Dollywood
only
in itself, I don't know if you have the numbers on that, how many people visit the park
I
yearly, but
don't
it's a lot.
I don't have, but I can find that out. But did you know how she met her husband, Carl?
Well, I've actually learned a lot about her yesterday researching it to do this show. A lot of things I didn't know, that she met him on the day that she basically moved at a laundromat.
Outside of a laundromat, yeah. Yeah. So, and they were married, what was it, 40 some years?
No, like 60 or something.
60 some years. Okay. He was 21 and she was what, 18 is what I think.
Yeah, he was like 2 years older than her maybe.
So Dollywood annual attendance reached nearly 4 million visitors in 2025, a record-breaking year according to park officials. Um, it's the 40th season. So, yeah.
That is pretty good.
Yeah, it's very good. But
Pretty good numbers.
and she's also done a lot of philanthropy, like you said. You've got the Dollywood Foundation, founded in 1988. She has the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, launched in
And that was the big thing I
1995.
remember, was that every kid in, I think, Sevierville County, and it may be the entire state at this point,
Well,
um,
at
from
this
0
point,
to 5 get a book every month.
that's true, but by the mid 2020s, she has distributed over 300 million books
Yeah.
across the US, Canada, the UK, Ireland, and Australia, reaching millions and millions of children. And you know what kind of gave her the idea to launch that?
But I know it was inspired by the fact that her father couldn't read.
And he had a very, very difficult time reading, and
Yeah.
she wanted to make a vow that, give every child the opportunity. Um, I'm going to tear up about talking about this. Um, she had 1 million donation to Vanderbilt in 2020 that helped research. She did a lot of disaster research. My People Fund. She helped hospitals, pediatric care, HIV, AIDS centers. She had the bald eagle conservation. Remember that they had some bald eagles down there in
I do.
Dollywood.
I had forgot about that, yeah.
And
Forgot about the bald
everybody, like,
eagles.
even though most people, maybe have seen a bald eagle, I remember always stopping to look to see it, to see if you could see them. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So,
Well, I mean,
that's
look
just
at Gatlinburg, and I mean, especially Pigeon Forge, but even Gatlinburg, it might be close to what it is, but not without her.
well,
I mean, it's a huge resort town, it's a huge tourist attraction. They have the Obergatlinburg, where you can go skiing and ice skating, and you can take the tram up to the top, and, of course, all the cabins and stuff. I mean, it's like a destination
it's a
travel spot.
it's a destination travel spot, but I didn't realize how big Dollywood and the whole region had become until I had moved away, and people where I lived in like a bigger city was referencing Gatlinburg or Sevierville or Pigeon Forge, and I was like, wow, it's really massive. So, what are some of the reasons you think that people love Dolly Parton? Because she's one of the most beloved. She was up there
I
with
wouldn't
Betty
say one of,
White.
I would say she is
I would say her
the
and Betty
most.
White. You think? I think her and Betty White were two of the national treasures that, regardless of age, color, creed, political affiliation, everybody could rally around these two women, and they
Yeah.
seemed to somehow be able to bring people together, and they had some sass to them also, which I think
Well,
really
especially Betty White. I mean, because
yes,
she died, I know she was 99. I mean, they were, like, planning her 100th birthday
yeah.
when she died,
With
and I
Dolly,
don't know
had-
when that was, but anyway, she, like, if you go back and watch some of her stand-up comedy and stuff, like, from the '70s and '80s, she's hardcore.
yeah.
Betty White is.
Well, Dolly
Like, you
had
should
made a.
go back and watch some of it.
I will have to do that
It's, like,
definitely.
raunchy stuff.
Now, Dolly had released a video just a few days ago stating, that she wasn't. I think she was still on the mend a little bit. And when I did watch that video, and I'm not lying about this, it did cross my mind. This might be near the end because she had to cancel her residency in Las Vegas, I think,
Yeah.
and I think it had been postponed again. And also, I had read that she had somewhat put her health on the back burner while she was caring for Carl's health because he had
Yeah,
some
and
bad
he died
health. In March.
last
He died
March.
in he passed in March. So why do you
And I
think
mean,
some of
sadly, that's a common thing that people have been married for decades, that when their partner dies,
it's
they
heartbreak?
just
They die
I
of
think it
heartbreak.
is. I think it is, and I think, I mean, we didn't know that much about her relationship with her husband because she kept it really private, which I think is the best way to do it,
Well,
especially in that business.
I'd also listened to an interview earlier where she said he liked to be out of the public eye. Now, do
Yeah,
you want to show a few of these pictures while we talk a little bit about some of her good
we can,
characteristics
yeah.
because she had a great personality, humor, and style.
She did. She did. Well, here's a picture. I'll put this one up first of her and her husband. And she, I mean, had to be early 20s here. Sadly, I forgot to put the date down, but
That's okay.
that's her and Carl.
Now, she was famously warm, quick-witted, and self kind of like she was very she was in on the joke. She leaned into that over the top backwoods Barbie image,
Yeah.
with the big hair, the rhinestones, makeup.
Well, there is a great interview that I did add and want to show. A pretty famous interview with Barbara Walters, and I believe this was in '77.
Okay.
I mean, it is 4 minutes, but we're
Yeah,
going to
let's check
play
this
it.
out.
So we can do that first.
Tell me about your childhood.
Well, there's really quite a bit to tell. I don't know how far back you want to start.
Well, let's start at the beginning.
Okay. I was born in a little log cabin, yeah, on the banks of the Little Pigeon River. And, of course, at that time, we only had 3 other children. There's 12 children. There's 8 younger than me.
Dolly, where I come from, would I have called you a hillbilly?
If you had of, it would have been something very natural, but I would have probably kicked your shins or something. No, actually.
But when I think of hillbillies, am I thinking of your kind of people?
I think you probably are. The people that grew up where I was were the ones that you would consider the little Abner people, Daisy May, and that sort of thing. They took that kind of thing from people like us, but we were very proud people, people with a lot of class. It was country class, but it was a great deal of class, and most of my people were not that educated, but they are very, very intelligent. Good common sense, horse sense, we called it.
Dolly, you said, and maybe you were talking about when you were a kid, you said, I felt that I never belonged. I felt I was always different.
I wanted more than to just be a farmer's daughter, even though I'm proud to be. I just wanted pretty things. I wanted money to buy the things that I had always been impressed with as a child. I wanted to, I guess, to be a star.
Dolly, did you look like this when you were a kid?
Not quite.
I mean, you didn't have the blonde wig, but when you
No.
went into school, when you were 11, 12, 13, was it this about you?
Well, you mean the full figure?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I thought that's what you meant. Well,
I'll
well,
take you.
Sorry.
I'll
well,
take your word for it.
I get asked that question. I always answer that by, because people are in awe of the whole thing. You know, a lot of people say I have, a lot of people say I haven't. I always say that if I hadn't have had it on my own, I'm just the kind of person that would have had me some maid if I hadn't needed it.
Would you mind standing up? We saw you on stage in all the filming.
Well, this is not really,
You know,
I'm not all that curvy in this outfit.
No, it's not bad.
But
That's her
whatever.
idea of not all that curvy. Do you give your measurements?
No, I always just say that I weigh 120.
You don't have to look like this. You're very beautiful. You don't have to wear the blonde wigs. You don't have to wear the extreme clothes, right?
No, it's certainly a choice. I don't like to be like everybody else. I've often made this statement that I would never stoop so low as to be fashionable. That's the easiest thing in the world to do. So I just decided that I would do something that would at least get the attention. Once they got past the shock of the ridiculous way I looked and all that, then they would see there was parts of me to be appreciated. I'm very real where it counts, and that's inside, and as far as my outlook on life and the way I care about people and the way I care about myself and the things that I care about. But I just chose to do this, and show business is a money-making joke, and I've just always liked telling jokes, you know.
But do you ever feel that you're a joke, that people make fun of you?
Oh, I know they make fun of me. But actually, all these years, the people, you know, has thought the joke was on me, but it's actually been on the public. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I can change it at any time. Or I make more jokes about myself than anybody, because I enjoy it. I know, like I say, I am sure of myself as a person. I'm sure of my talent. And to me, and I'm sure of my love and for life and that sort of thing. I'm very content. I like the kind of person that I am. So I can afford to piddle around and do-diddle around with makeups and clothes and stuff because I am secure.
Oh, cut out.
No, no, no. That it was like an 8-minute interview. I didn't put it all on.
Oh, okay.
But no, I think that that really highlights, that she knew she was it was for show, most of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure when she went home that she put on her comfortable clothes like everybody else, you know. And I mean there's a lot of like really funny quotes
Well,
like
she says a lot of funny, so
she
many
is
quotable
funny.
things. Very
I will
funny.
say that is a common thing where we're from. There are a lot of really funny people, like just naturally funny.
Yeah. There
And
are.
having lived in like different places, I do see it there more than here.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. And maybe it's accidentally being funny, and maybe people here are way more conscious of it and afraid they're going to offend somebody. Whereas there, it's kind of like if you get offended, that's your problem. That's on
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree with you. Now, I've always enjoyed now, Dolly, I'm going to go through several of her movies because we've mentioned touched briefly on those, but I hadn't
She
seen
had a
a
lot more
lot.
movies than I realized.
Yeah, she did. She was in, well, it does have credits on IMDb. She has over it says 1.9 thousand credits. But a lot of those are of, herself. She playing
Yeah,
herself. So, no, she did some. You were telling me about this Jennifer Aniston movie called Dumpling back in 2018, right?
I was not, but I know the one you're talking about. I did
Oh,
not
you
watch it though.
oh, you didn't?
No.
Well, Dolly did the music for that. Um, I'm trying to go just to her filmography. I will just pick out a few. Now, she was in a movie with Sylvester Stallone called Rhinestone. Have you ever watched this?
I have not. No.
9 to 5, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Um, Straight Talk. Have you ever
I
watched Straight
remember Straight
Talk?
Talk. I have. Yeah.
Where
It
she's a
wasn't like a
radio.
rewatch, but I remember it. So that's your inspiration, maybe.
It is. I wanted to be the Dolly of
The Dolly of
of
Radio.
yeah, the Dolly of radio. And I do remember this poster. Now I wish I'd have told you to get it, but in the poster, I won't put it up to the screen. People can look it up. You've got the New York City as the backdrop. And then you've got the moon up in the sky, and then you've got Dolly with her hand like that looking up, and she's sitting on a pumpkin, a big pumpkin. And it says,
I mean, she's a character.
she a once upon
She
a
really is.
lifetime.
And
I like that she never did compromise who she was.
no, and she didn't take herself seriously.
No, no.
And she seemed to have fun with it, with playing this character. And she had said, I'm sure you've heard this, it's kind of a famous factoid about her, that her look was inspired by the town tramp. That there was somebody that everybody in town considered to be kind of trashy, and that was I don't
Yeah,
wanna say
I had
the
read
W word,
something.
but that lady was trashy, a tramp,
I'd kind of read
and
something about that.
she thought that she was the prettiest thing, that she'd ever seen, and she wanted to look like her, and so her look was kind of inspired by that.
Well,
So,
she had
I get it, I
a
respect that.
well, I like the fact that, definitely during she was one of the very few public people in these polarizing times during, political, class, religion, age, sexuality, musical taste. Everybody seemed to adore Dolly. There's not anybody that I've ever heard that says they don't
I
like
don't
her.
think you can say anything
No,
bad, and if you do, you're just doing it for the
shock value.
yeah, because I don't think you can say anything bad about her.
No.
I mean, she
Um,
stands up for people, especially the minorities.
and one
She's a
thing she said
huge LGBTQ advocate, trans advocate.
in women's
She's
empowerment,
yeah, I mean, she really if somebody needed a voice and, couldn't stand up for themselves, she was there
yes, and she did it in a
without
way,
judgment.
and she did without judgment, and she did it in a way that was admired. But she said the secret was simple. She said that she loved people and she thinks that people could feel that she loves them.
I
And
believe
she
that.
and she
She's a
said
force. She really is.
and she radiated that joy, and she seemed like she was a friend to the millions of people that admired her, her music, her image, work ethic. Very few people have really talked about her work ethic. I mean, she was 80 years old and she was not quitting up until,
Mm-mm.
she was sidelined a little bit with her health. She was full force the whole way. She had big heart, actions that proved it, her humor, the
Plus, I mean,
joy.
she's super fashionable.
Yeah.
I don't wanna, you know, say that that is the only thing about her because it is very obviously not, but, I mean, come
What
on.
if
I don't think you
what
get more fabulous than Dolly Parton.
Well, it was just
Maybe
like she said
Cher,
in
but seriously.
it was just like she said in that interview. She said, that's the once the people get over the quote shock value of her, they see what's, deeper. So it worked into her favor, and
Oh,
that's a
yeah.
nice 70s shot.
It is. It is. It's very disco-y, and this is one of my favorite ones. Just the angle of it from a photography
Yeah,
standpoint, I think
I
that's a
like
great
that.
picture.
Yeah, I think so
And, of course,
too.
you got the 9 to 5 outfit, which is a hilarious movie. I highly doubt there's anybody out there who hasn't at least heard of it or seen clips from it, but if you haven't seen 9 to 5, go watch it,
Yeah,
please.
it's a worthwhile movie.
It really is. It is funny.
It's very
And, I
funny.
mean, when you watch it, especially because we can kinda look at it from a different perspective, because we were around when things weren't as open for discussion. And this movie is very ahead of its time. I mean, the, like, little quips in it, the just the whole story, and it came out in 1980. So this movie is as old as you. I'm not supposed to say your age, but so think about that, like, this is serious topics, but addressing them straight on with humor, and that takes talent to do that.
And I'm wondering, I've not watched that movie in quite a while, so I need to give it another watch. And then
Yeah, you do.
she stepped into the the what was it, the best little whorehouse in Texas?
Yeah.
Was that? And that was another funny movie.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Her and Burt Reynolds.
Oh, I wanted to run a brothel. I wanted to be a madam at a whorehouse after watching that for years. That was my dream.
Okay.
Still, I mean, I still talk about it like it's on the table.
That's,
I
I mean,
would do it.
I mean,
Yeah,
you could have one in Bombay. You could probably do that.
I could run the best little whorehouse in
The
Bombay,
Bombay brothel.
the Bombay brothel, and it would be dedicated to Dolly Parton, obviously.
Well, maybe like you could like inside it could be like decorated with some pictures of her throughout, and everybody would celebrate that. They would.
They would.
I
They
mean,
would.
you could have an alcoholic beverage called the Dolly, and it could be
Yeah.
really good. You could serve it, and like a lot of people sing. What's that one song they sing? Sweet Caroline, but you could they could sing some kind of Dolly Parton
Well, it
song.
would be 9 to 5.
9 to 5, 9 to
Yeah.
5.
I bet that's gonna be sung a lot at karaoke around the world this
Oh, you know
weekend.
it is. You know it
Yeah.
is. I'm gonna go check out why
I
you're.
hear Islands in the Stream a lot. As far as duets go, that's one of a famous one that I've
I think it's a good one. Now, as of now, Dolly has 18.4 million Spotify listeners. What do you think number one, two, and three are on her Spotify?
on her songs.
Yep,
Uh,
the top three
I'm gonna
most
say "I
popular.
Will Always Love You," probably 9 to 5, maybe "Here You Come Again," and
Okay,
maybe "Two Doors Down,"
well, that's a good one. I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that one.
maybe.
Jolene's number one.
I forgot about Jolene. Oh my god. Now I
Islands in the
feel
Stream is number two, and
really?
9 to 5 is number three.
Does it say what number 4 is?
Tyrant,
Really?
and I guess it's the song with her and Beyonce, and then I Will Always Love You her version at number 5. Yeah. So
Hey, those are all great, though.
they really are. Now, I had only bought. Now I was going through Dolly's discography today, and I had bought a Dolly Parton album in the year. Let's see. Let me go through 1993,
You bought
and
an album in '93.
yeah, of Dolly Parton. It
So
was
you
called
bought a
Slow.
cassette. Is
No, it
what
was
you
a C.
bought.
It was a CD. It was a
Really?
CD. Yeah, it was called Slow Dancing with the Moon, and it had a lot of duets with it. But there was a duet with called Romeo on there, and it had Billy Ray
I
Cyrus,
know the song. Yeah.
Tanya Tucker, and Mary Chapin Carpenter, and Dolly.
Oh
And
yeah. You should
I
watch the
guess
video. The music video is hilarious.
it.
They're like, they're just like trash talking him in this bar, like trying to hit on
They're
Billy Ray
swooning on
Cyrus.
Billy Ray Cyrus, and but that's the only. I don't know why that particular album, but that's the only one that I've
That
ever
seems an
purchased.
odd one for you.
Very, very.
It's funny though.
Yeah. So what? You got some other pictures of Dolly?
Oh
Let's see.
yes, I do.
Let's see what we
And this
got
one would
here.
have been, I'm pretty sure, from The Best Little Whorehouse.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it's from. It's a great picture.
And sh-
I mean, she's.
An
I've
icon.
never seen a bad picture of her, to be honest.
No.
I really haven't. Here's another 70s looking one. This one's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's up on stage during that one.
And that one's more recent. I mean, and I know it's cliche, and I'm sure everybody's going to be doing this, but I do plan on getting a butterfly tattoo for
Where you going?
for
Where you going to
Dolly.
get that? Where you going to get the tattoo
I
at?
haven't decided yet. I think it's going to depend on how the size I want it.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, I don't know yet.
Okay. Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see. And I don't know which one exactly. I don't know if it's just going to be a butterfly or if it will be the one that goes similar to her Dollywood one,
Right.
you
Right.
know.
Right.
But we'll see. But that's in the plans.
Now, did her passing come as a shock to you? Did you know that she was ill?
I didn't know she was sick. I mean,
You didn't, or you did?
I did not know she was sick. I mean, I
Okay.
knew she was having some issues with her, like rescheduling her Vegas show. And kind of like you, I was like, that's not good.
No.
You know, it's just, I mean, with
Because
her age, it's always going to be a concern. And then
well, I thought about her age.
I didn't think it was real when I read it. Even
Did you?
you sent it. Another friend of ours had sent me a link to it, you know, to the
Had you
article,
heard?
and
Had
I
you
was like,
heard
that's no, that's
before
not
we
real.
sent it? Had you heard?
No, no. And I saw that, and I was like, oh, they're just faking it. They're just making that up, you know. And I was pretty heartbroken to find out that no, it was
So
true.
did you cry right away?
No, I did eventually because, of course, I was like, well, I'm going to listen to some of her music and watch some of the interviews and kind of decided that I would go through the pictures and, you know, get this stuff together.
The
And it's
interviews.
sad because she means a lot to me, not just as herself, but memories that
Yeah.
are tied to other people that are no longer here, you know, like
Yeah.
my grandparents specifically. And, you know, I mean, I feel blessed to have those memories and they're positive memories. So I'm never going to think of her ever in a negative way. You know, it's only happy and positive, but it's still the end of something.
Yeah, it
You know,
is.
and endings are hard.
And it is especially when you know, I because 80 is, you know, not young anymore. You know, it is getting up there. And you know, when I thought about the rescheduling of the shows, there's her with a cute little
Yeah.
kitten. but the rescheduling of the shows and then her husband just passing in March, I was like, this doesn't look good because and then she had kept on saying, she's had a little hiccup with her health, a little, and I was like, it's got to be, it's more than that. It's got to be more than that. And
Yeah.
sadly, it was more than that. Um,
But I mean,
but this is also
she was
something.
able to do more than most people ever will accomplish and change lives. I mean, not just as a fan, but with the reading, with all the money that she had donated, the things that she had made possible, that especially in her hometown.
Well, also you have to think now, and this is not well, you know how they'll do. Like I thought today, I said who the search will be on to find someone to play Dolly in a movie, like a real movie.
They really should. I mean, I hate to be talking about that right out, but you're right, they will. And if it's not Miley Cyrus, I'm gonna be pissed.
I didn't think of that.
I really and I was not a huge fan of Miley at
Were you
first
not?
when she first came out during the Hannah Montana thing, and then she no, I wasn't a fan of her. And then obviously, I mean, I don't maybe you don't know that, but Miley Cyrus is
Her
her
goddaughter.
goddaughter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's her godmother, her fairy godmother, as she had been called.
Well, Dolly was
And
also
I would
played.
love to see Miley do it. I think she could.
And Miley can sing really
And
well.
Miley can sing. She can. I think she could nail it.
I think she probably could. She
So I
probably
would be
could.
in support of that just
Yes.
because
Well, I was thinking about, because they do it with everyone. They've done it with. I'm sure they'll have one with Prince. You know, obviously Michael Jackson, Elton John. You know, Freddie Mercury.
I
So
will say
you
that there doesn't seem to be anybody that comes close to replacing these people once they're gone.
like the ones that we've lost, Jimi Hendrix. A lot of these people, they're not replaceable. I mean, the
No, I
icons,
mean, even, we can talk
the
about Michael
musical,
Jackson later, but who's gonna replace him
the
in
musical
terms of
icons.
just pure I mean, he's got an energy about him, and I'm not even a fan, but he does. If you meet him or come across him, you remember him. He has an impact on everybody, as
Yeah,
does Dolly.
as does
I don't
Dolly.
think anyone who's came across her doesn't know her. I would be shocked if there's anybody, at least in this country, that doesn't know who the fuck Dolly Parton is.
Oh yeah.
Like for real. It would amaze me if you didn't.
Now, I don't know if you read this, but there was something that was kind of nice, and I'm trying to find where it is here. Dolly
What part
Parton
was it?
had Dolly Parton had Eminem had been introduced into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Dolly Parton wrote Eminem this letter. Marshall, Eminem, congratulations on your induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Your performance was amazing and everybody said so. Even though I don't know a lot about rap music, I come to know that you are the very best at it. Aside from that, I hope that what I have to say will not seem weird or strange to you, but I have always felt some unexplained connection to you, like I know you somehow. I had hoped to meet you at the show, but you know how nuts these things are. Personally, I hate them, and I miss my chance, but maybe someday we'll meet. In the meantime, keep doing what you're doing because you do it so well, and no matter how complex your world may be, just know you are very special and touch people in ways you don't even know. With love and respect, Dolly Parton. So that's a letter that she wrote to Eminem, and he was like, they've never met, but he said she really had an impact on him. So
I mean, I truly think if you're ever in a place where you don't know what to do, you don't know a decision, if you ask yourself, what would Dolly do? I don't think you can go wrong. I
no,
truly don't. I think that if you just make that choice and be truthful with yourself. She's
She was something.
she's one of the best people. I hope that there are more like her. But that is one thing that I did feel yesterday, when I was reading everything, because everything's pretty rough right now politically and socially. We're very torn apart as a nation. And I was like, the one person that everybody seems unified with is her. And it's not just that, but it kind of made me feel like, okay, you know what? Maybe hope isn't lost.
Right.
Because we're
Right.
sold this idea that this is the end and it's never going to get better and it's just downhill from here. That the best days are behind us. And I think if we can all come together on that, I think that we can come together on a lot of things that we may not see right now. So I think there
Right.
is a possibility. And if
I do
that
too.
could be, if she could be the inspiration for that, for just kind of putting our differences aside and looking at the bigger picture and coming together for one true, pure cause, I think it's possible.
Well, she'll. We know how big she was in her lifetime. Now we see how big she will be past her lifetime. Because Michael Jackson's probably bigger now than he's ever been, and the same will happen to Dolly as well. So,
I just hate that that's what it takes. And I don't think it does. I think she made a difference while she was here too.
oh, I agree with you. I
I
agree with
mean,
you.
she really did. She spoke out. She had a lot of causes. I mean, she spread herself thin. She really did
Well,
on
she worked up
fighting
until
all
she
these.
couldn't.
I mean, she fought for everybody that needed it. She
Hmm.
really did. And there's not a lot of people that you can say that about.
No,
I mean, you can say it, but for
it not.
it's
It's not
true
going
with
to be
her, and I
true.
think it's very clear it's true with her.
I do too. Um, we've. I know they often say this, but there's often three celebrity deaths together, and there has been recently. We had
Yeah.
Hayden Panettiere a few weeks ago, Dolly Parton yesterday, and we learned also Tim Curry had passed away yesterday. They didn't release it until today, so we'll speak a little bit about him on the next show as well. He was in you know him mainly through Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Mhm.
He was also in Clue, Muppet Treasure Island. He was Pennywise in It. He played a villain in The Three Musketeers with Chris O'Donnell and Charlie Sheen. So he had a career as well. So we will, talk a little bit about him next show. Do you have
And that will be
anything
on
else to?
Saturday.
Yes, Saturday. So is there anything else to add to the remembering Dolly Parton tonight?
No, just, make good choices. And if somebody's out there and they need something and you can help them, even if it's just listening or holding their hand, just be there,
Yeah, yeah. And
you know?
we also want to say thank you for all the new listeners. We've had a lot of new listeners come to us and say they've been tuning in. So thank you for that. Please like and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything to do that. Comment below. We'll get back to you if you'd like to be on the show or have any kind of constructive
And if you wanna
criticism.
make if you wanna make donations to the imaginary I'm sorry, the, Imagination Library, which is her main cause,
Right.
um, to get books into the hands of kids, that's on the website at the
Okay.
bottom. There's a link to that.
There's a link, and then you can also go to saltytonight.com.
Well, it's
There's
on Salt
links.
yeah, it's on
Okay,
that.
so there's links on there. There's links to all of our stuff, the Spotify, the YouTube. So thank you all for joining tonight. Please like and subscribe. And we're giving away the Donnie Darko poster on Sunday show, right? So this
Yeah.
is yeah.
So
So this is
anybody
this is
that
the
likes
poster
or shares, um,
over
this
this past
week,
week.
yeah, will be
Yeah,
put into a drawing, and we're gonna draw it out of a hat probably, if I find the hat.
if we find a hat.
You'll
So
you'll
yeah,
you can do it. You're the one that's gotta mail it.
yes.
And
So
hopefully we
thank
will
you.
have some happier news on Saturday.
Yes. So thank you all for tuning in, Terry. It's been a good show. Good night, everyone.
Good night.